Fulfill your vision of a grand getaway in Teyvat, an endless world of magic and opportunity. Whether the winds of freedom carry you to Mondstadt, the tranquil shores of Inazuma inviting you in, or even the mountain vistas of Liyue as far as the eye can see. Whatever adventure you envision for yourself, you can make it real. All of this just waiting for you to explore in Teyvat. Have you ever wondered what the tourism industry in Teyvat is like? Well, recently, Tembies has been asking what the best place to go on a vacation in Teyvat is, or if it's even possible to go on vacation here in the first place. Like, just what is going on here? Well, I say, what better way to celebrate summer than inspecting the tourism industry of a completely fictional world instead of, So, shout out to Tembies for the premise of this video, but we won't just be sticking to beaches for this, oh no. We'll also be checking out a bunch of other places within the world, in a bid to answer, how safe is it really to vacation in Teyvat? Now, I have some criteria on how we're going to assess each vacation spot. We'll be judging mainly on safety of the overall area, ease of access in getting there, and amenities. So, what sort of attractions these tourist spots have, as well as their cultural and historical significance. And we'll be starting with the beaches. Now, when I think of going on vacation, I think of laying on the beach on a hot summer's day, the sun beaming down on me. But this? Alright, let's first start with the safety of the surrounding area. I mean, for the most part, this area is very safe. First, you've got the road leading up to the beach, which has almost no monsters along it. It seems to be an area in quite frequent use as well, as a lot of people probably come to Windrise for the Animo Archon. You know, there's some Hilichurl camps scattered around, but they're pretty sparse. You're not in any immediate danger. It's your average beach, though I imagine Mondstadt citizens do come here for a nice beach stroll. Look, we've even got some people here already. Though, there is a Hilichurl camp right over there. Might have to deduct a few points for that, but that should be fairly easy to clear up. And I fear this is probably going to be one of the safer beaches in Teyvat the further along we get. But overall, as long as people don't stray too far, I would recommend this beach. And if the Knights just put a bit more resources toward the beach as well by adding some amenities, it could even turn into a tourist hotspot. I'm giving this one a 7 Hydro Slimes out of 10. Now, from what I checked out, Liyue doesn't seem to have much in the way of beach tourism either, and I certainly would not be okay calling this shoal safe. It certainly has potential, but in its current state, my travel advisory would honestly be to avoid it at all costs. I've already spotted a few problems, those being that if you're coming here, good luck with that. Your first obstacle would be this bridge, so you're not even probably gonna be able to get over here. And if you do, well, there's an abandoned and slightly haunted village on the other side, so... What? There is no way there has been a chest here this whole time in my world and I have never noticed. How? Moving on. If the town was still in operation, this would probably have been quite a nice tourist spot since the roads from Liyue itself are relatively safe, but the Qixing have really let us down here. Aren't they supposed to be in charge of the economy and this sort of stuff? Very disappointing. Moving on to the shoal itself, I would say this would honestly even class as a spot for tourists to visit on account of its naturally formed cliffs. Much the same way people go to visit natural wonders and such in real life. As for the beach itself, just look at this. These Hilichurls have claimed an entire island. You've got a whole load of ruin guards over there that could be either alive or dead. You've got an actual ruin guard here just casually strolling around. So many enemies everywhere. Well, at least you can pick up star conches, I guess. As for this side, you've got a fairly safe walk to this beach, aside from those ruins over there. And look at this! Okay, this has so much potential actually. If the Qixing wanted to, they could easily renovate this into a beachside tourist hut or something along those lines. They've already got a safe walk there. It's really close to Liyue Harbour, and it looks actually like some people do already use this area. There's like no monsters around here. Well, apart from this one whopper flower, just gonna ignore that. So I'll definitely need to lobby for that. And you even get a picturesque view of the Archon main structure over there. I'm gonna give this one a 5 star conches out of 10. Inazuma is up next. And well, it's an island region, so surely it has some nice beaches, right? I mean, they can't even keep their main beach route for transportation safe, so I'm not holding out much hope. Most of Inazuma's coastline is just filled with monsters and enemies. Its one saving grace is probably Amakane Island, while the way there is, you guessed it, filled with enemies. At the very least, there is an effort being made here on the tourism front. It's got a beach you can relax on if you want, a whole load of amenities, food, and protection with guards too. And it's also used for special occasions and firework events. We've got such a beautiful waterfront over here. Its natural beauty really shines at night too, because it sparkles under the night sky. But sadly, it's on the side of an active battlefield, so definitely not safe or accessible. Yeah, so I can't really recommend these islands in good conscience as a place to vacation to. On account of the ghosts and lightning, I definitely need to put this island and Seirai Island down as severely unsafe and advise against any travel here whatsoever. Inazuma overall is disappointing. Every beach I assessed seemed extremely unsafe and inaccessible. The one plus side it has is Amakane Island, but there seemed to be practically no tourism outside of the main island. So other than Narukami Island and Watatsumi, I would advise against any travel to other parts of Inazuma for your own safety at this current time. 4 ayayas out of 10. You know, I really didn't have much hope for Beta Harbor's coast, but it really actually surprised me. This whole line of shore along here is really quite nice and peaceful, and there's basically no monsters along here for some mysterious reason. Beta Harbor and its beaches, I would argue, are even safer than Mondstadt. They're right next to civilization with the harbor. The downside, of course, comes with the ease of access and getting here, so that is a point deduction, unless you're coming from Fontaine side. But honestly, for once, I think Beta Harbor actually gets a win. 7 non-existent chests out of 10. I suppose technically this is the closest we've come to for a tropical beach in Teyvat so far, minus Golden Apple, but literally no NPC is gonna come here. It's really quite beautiful, but I think according to the law the only reason they would ever bother coming here is for pilgrimages, and well, you'd have to go through a huge expanse of desert and a super dangerous sandstorm to get here, assuming you weren't already killed by the huge number of enemies along the way. I don't even see a proper way to get down here in the first place, and again, loads of hillochells scattered all along the shoreline. So while the palm trees and tortoises are nice, I'm gonna have to give this a 1 tortoise out of 10. Fontaine suffers the same way as Inazuma does, sadly. Most of its shores are filled with enemies. Like, I don't even know how this person can just be fishing here when there's monsters mere steps away. I wouldn't want to go anywhere near a dead dragon skeleton in this universe, so that island's already off the table. Outside of the city and court, Fontaine kind of has nothing worthwhile for the tourism industry. Unless you count that, but I would not go near that with a 10-foot pole. Most of the region is just incredibly unsafe or destroyed, but there is petrichor. So let's go and take a look at Teyvat's other tourism sectors. Okay. I would definitely imagine Petrichor is the destination on a lot of NPCs' lists. It's easily reachable from either Fontaine or Sumeru's harbours, so there's no danger of dying on your way there. Well, minimal danger. Its unique architectural style should attract a lot of people too, and being an island means there's plenty of beach if that's what you're after. The main problem I have with this tourist spot is the super dangerous gaping hole here, and the citizens of the island. They do not seem particularly welcoming. 8 trumpets out of 10. Chenyu Harbour itself is another great relaxing spot for that countryside but close to civilization vibe, and I would say even safer to travel here than to Petrichor. If you're coming in from Fontaine, all you need to do is hop on a boat to Lumidas and then to Chenyu, and if you're a tourist coming in from the Liyue side, well, their roads are impressively safe all through here. The surrounding area is a bit questionable, but as long as you don't veer off course, Chenyu is a really safe destination for tourists. It seems like an actual tourism hub too, compared to other ports and towns, and also seems to have a dedicated government that has its best interests in mind. There's a wide array of different types of people, and a lot of culture being shown off here too, such as with the tea being heavily associated with Chenyu Vale. They also have nightly performances from storytellers at the tea house, and plenty of shops. The village just down the road is super accessible and mostly safe to get to if you want that true country feel. Chenyu Vale even offers rides to enjoy with complimentary singing along the river to view these wonders. Another safe mode of transport in this part of Teyvat. Very impressive. 9 tea leaves out of 10. Now, Ototsumi as a vacation spot I would love to recommend. It's absolutely breathtaking. The island has a culturally significant building too, the shrine, that would bring a lot of people here to visit. However, there are some downsides. Well, to be more precise, it actually has 2 holes. First, you have this ginormous hole where if you make one wrong move, you are a goner. And the second one, well, just hope you don't get flushed down this toilet. You really do not want to end up there. Well, Tatsumi Island as a whole at least seems a lot safer in terms of enemies, since they stay away from civilization. Overall though, Watatsumi gets 5 comrades out of 10 for me. Whoa, where are we? I don't think we're in Teyvat anymore. But this is a real vacation. Not an enemy in sight. And what could the paper animals possibly do? Give you a paper cut? Oh, okay. Yeah, that is a safety violation. Look, the platform is so small, I could easily fall off of that. There's no handrails. Someone really needs to fix that. And the vibes are immaculate. You've got a choice of kicking it back at the tavern and drinking this mysterious and not life-threatening liquid, walking along the beach, taking a train ride, or even checking out this picturesque city. Just ignore the dragon. Simulanka gets a 9 magic tonics out of 10. Well, that about wraps up our tourism evaluation. Overall, Liyue stays winning with this one. It seems to be the only nation, really, with a government area actually dedicated to tourism. The worst place, on the other hand, would have to be either Surumi Island or Seirai Island. The next time we return for this tourism series, we'll probably take a look at Teyvat's cultural and historical sites. On another note, I just recently opened a Discord, so if you are interested, feel free to join. But for now, I'm gonna go get some pure water.